Welcome back to part two. I had to split it into two because the 1 hour episode wasn't loading up onto YouTube. It kept failing, so I split it into two. I'm hoping that it's going to start at a similar place to where the last one finished, but obviously it was a little bit tricky going through the videos on the iPad to do the editing. But anyway, here we go. So John's leadership test on the Sherman. So he's got rid of one pin. It is a veteran tank, so he needed 8, so he's got rid of one pin. So he's going to take a shot at the Marder. So it's going to be 4. One for soft cover. Well, no, we didn't give it soft cover because of the height of the.
But we did there. We didn't here.
Right, as we did there. So 4s. No. Do you want to machine gun it?
Yep.
So 5 dice. Probably needing. You got at least a 6 there, haven't you?
Yeah, I got 1 6.
So 1 6. So that's 1 pin. Yeah. So 1 pin. Now it couldn't do anything to it, but it puts a pin on it. So this is where that thing comes in. So it's regular, so a 4, 5 or 6 it ignores a pin. Whereas if it's like a veteran like yours, you would have ignored it anyway. I think is the case. So 6, so that ignores it. So end of turn 3?
Yep.
So end of turn 3. Americans are a little bit under the cosh, with 1 Sherman out, 1 immobilised, 2 Greyhounds out, 1 bazooka team gone. But the bazooka team over here did cause the Greyhound over here at the previous turn, and this Panzer II has now got 3 pins on it. So moving to turn 4. Start of turn 4, and unfortunately for John, the first dice out of the bag was the Germans. So the Tiger is going to take a shot at the Sherman on the far side, which is immobilised. I will need a little bit extra now because of the hill in the way, which is going to put cover in. So that's going to be a 4 to hit. Because it's short range, haven't moved, so cover, so a 4. That's a 4. So we now know that it's a 7. Plus 2 is 9. So glancing. On a 2 takes it down to 1, so stunned and 2 pins. So quite useful. So next dice out is John's, and it's the Sherman behind the building. He doesn't have to take any Tiger Fear because he can't see the Tiger 1. But he's going to take a shot at the Marder. I think we're going to need a 3. Yep, that's a hit. So it's a medium-mounted tank on a 5. Is an 8, that's a penetration because the front of the Marder is a 7. And a 2. That's going to be shaken and 2 pins. Your dicing for penetration has been horrendous, hasn't it? Mm. So bazooka team are up, and they're going to take a pop at the Panzer II. 4. Nope. Right. So the Panzer 3J is going to take a shot at the Sherman. That's going to be a 4 because of the soft cover. So let's see if we can get a 4. Nope, that's a 3. So a let off for the Sherman. John's going to have a go with the Sherman taking a shot at the Marder, but because of the Tiger now, he's going to be on Tiger Fear, so he's got 3 pins. Tiger Fear takes it down to 4, so he needs a 6. And he doesn't, so the Sherman goes down. The Panzer II that's hanging on by the skin of its teeth is now going to have some shots taken by the Greyhound. So it's going to be a 4. Nope, another 1. John is consistently rolling 1s this game. All American dice are out, so I've got 3 Germans left. I've got the Panzer II to fire, possibly the Panzer III and the Marder. We'll try a leadership test on the Marder. Need an 8. No, need a 7 because it's got 2 pins. That makes it a little bit more tricky. Oh, no, we do. So it goes down to 1 pin. And we're going to take a shot, I think, at... There's going to be the Sherman in front of it, so that's going to be on a 4. So a 4 needed? No. So I reckon a sigh of relief from John there. Next one, Panzer 3. Panzer 2 is going to try and rally. So that's leadership test at...
Regulars, aren't they?
Yeah, regular, so that's going to be 9 plus 1. So it would be down to 7, back up to 8 because of the command tank. That'd be a no then.
They were rallying.
A leadership test, yeah. Rally rather than leadership. Oh no, you don't, do you? So that would be a rally. So...
Get 1 plus, yeah.
Yeah, so they're gone.
Yep.
Yep, so he's all okay next time, but he can't obviously do anything this turn as I wander around with the camera, so just making you dizzy. So we've got the last one over here. That's not his 3 pins, that's just where it landed after I threw it. So he's going to take... and it's going to have to be the 12 shots again, isn't it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So quickly, whilst the beeping for the pizza. 1 again. Yeah?
Yep. Oh.
No. Right, so that's the end of turn 4. End of turn 4. Still much the same as end of turn 3, really. Not much difference, is there? No.
Not really.
No. Nothing's happened at all. Turn 3. So nothing there in turn 4, so we'll move on to turn 5. So after a spot of lunch we move into turn 5, and we've got the Sherman first dice out, and it's going to take a shot at the Marder, so a 3. Yeah, that's a hit. So that's a 4, 5. That's an 8, so that's a penetration again. And 3 on fire. So that's... 2 additional pins, so that takes me up to 3 pins. And a leadership test on 6. 5, so that's okay. So fire out, but puts us on to 3 pins. Probably slots that fire in this turn. So the Pioneers 250 failed to come on last turn, and it's not actually the Stummel there that we run. What it has got is a Panzerbusch, so it's going to fire at the bottom of the Sherman in front. So it's moved 4, close range 3.
Yep.
So 3 is needed. That's a 6, so that's a hit. The Panzerbusch is plus 6, or is it plus 4? Plus 4?
I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm going to have a look. Yep, so it's 6 plus for the gun. So that's 10 against armour, 8. 7, because it's minus 2 at the back, isn't it?
2, yeah.
So that's penetrated by 3.
Yep.
Yep.
2 dice.
2 dice. So, on fire. And immobilised again. Oop, moving around. So, yeah, if we go for... I have to have a look at the 2 mobilised, but I think that's probably 2 in the same turn. So, leadership test, 2 pins. So, how many pins has it got?
5 pins altogether.
5 altogether, so leadership test at minus 5. Yep, that's gone. So, Bazooka Team, yep.
Yep.
Bazooka Team's taking a shot at the Panzer 2. Needs a 4. Nope, another 1. Alright, so trying to get rid of the Panzer 2, it's going to be the Greyhound again. It's going to take a shot at the Panzer 2, so it's going to be 4s. Yep, it's got to hit this time. So 4 plus whatever for the dice.
7.
7. So it's 8 front. So just a pin. Alright, next dice out is for the Germans, and it's going to be the Panzer 3J taking a shot at the Sherman. So we're looking at short range but cover, so a 4 needed. Oh, yep. And medium gun is a 5.
Yep. Wow, with 9.
So front armour 9. Nope, so just 1 pin. Advanced up the Tiger. So we can now see just about the front end of the Sherman there. So it's going to be hard cover. So I've moved for hard cover 6. Nope, so that's a 4. Right, back to the dilemma. Is it going to be the 12 machine gun shots, or is it going to be the anti-tank gun firing HE this time around? I'm going to go for HE firing the main gun. So we need 6. That just about sums it up, doesn't it, really?
It does.
That just about sums it up. Yep. There we go. So it's I'm going to have a look what the medium anti-tank gun does with a HE round. I think it's the small template, so it's probably the inch one.
No,
So 2.
again.
Can't remember how many minuses it is. Let's have a quick look. So it's HE1, which means it's a -1. They regulars.
They are.
So it was a 4 down to 3.
You.
And they live. Let's see how many pins. 2. Oh, well, we did get to hit them. And I suppose that's only fair that they didn't die. So I've passed the leadership check on the Panzer II, so it's got rid of the 1 pin. What are we going to fire at? I think we'll probably fire at the Greyhound because that's more of a threat, I think. So that's short range. So not moved. So it's just the 1 for cover. So 4s. So that's 1 hit. So only penetration 2, and you're 7.
Yes.
So that's nothing. Nope. So just 1 pin. So at turn 5, we have 2 of the Shermans taken out, the 1 Sherman remaining. 2 of the Greyhounds have gone. The bazooka team survived the hit by the medium anti-tank gun. The Tigers moved up. So the objectives, the Germans are holding 2, the Americans are holding 2. We've got the one in the middle that's being held there. So the one that's free at the moment is one over the side of the house where my pioneers are trying to get to. So we'll see how that progresses in turn 6. First dice out, and John's going to try and fire the bazooka. It's on 2 pins, so it needs a 7 to pass. Yep, gets that, loses 1 pin. So it would be a 4. It's now down up to a 5 because of the 1 pin. Nope, that's a 1 again. So I thought I'd move up the Tiger to get a bit of a better shot in this one, and it didn't. So I could have just left it where I was and not have a pin for moving. So there we go. You learn something every day. That was a bit silly, but so there we are. We're there. Hard cover 5. Moved 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind.
There we go. On a 6. No, a 1. Next dice out, which is a bit of a shame for John, is me for the Germans, and we're going to fire the Marder at the Sherman. That's a 3.
Yeah.
Yep, on a 3. And it's a 2, so a miss. So John has taken the opportunity to come out and be very aggressive towards my Tiger. So it's going to be a 2. I would suggest. Yep. So You've got a 5. My armour on the side is 9. Oh yeah, that's it. So that's an 11, 9, so it's only 1 dice though. Yes, it's an explosion. Yeah, well, I knew it was going to be. There we go. Tiger gone. So, to return the favour, I have advanced up the Panzer 3J, and we're going to take a shot at the Sherman on the flank. The sad bit about it is that I am about 2/8 of an inch short of 6 inches, so I'm not going to get the -1 to cancel out the moving. So from there, we're going to have a 4 to hit. Yep, there's a 6. So on the side, you're an 8. I'm a 5 with the gun, aren't I?
I'm down and up this side armor.
Yeah, just minus the 1.
Minus
Yeah,
one.
so you're on an 8 on the side, and I've got 5 on the gun. So that takes me up to 7, so it's just 1 pin. So Pioneers have advanced round, and they've now captured the objective. Getting a bit of a armour fest over here, but everyone's shot. The Greyhound in the middle failed its leadership test and has gone down. So we're sort of halfway through turn 6 now. So we're going to go for see if we can get a repeat of the jammy shot which hit the bazooka team last time. So we need a 6. Nope, a 5. So 6s followed by 6s needed for the machine gun. So we got there 1.
Yep.
So we got 1 chance for another 6. Nah. So we've taken a risk and we've pushed up the Panzer II to be in contact with the objective, but also the bazooka team is in base. We said with the objective as well. So we'll see how that one pans out. If we go into a turn 7, we'll see what might or what might not occur. So we've advanced up the 250 to take a shot in the rear of the other Sherman. It's not within short range, so I don't get the +6, but I do get +4 penetration now as it's within the 24. So we've moved, so that's a -1. So 4s. Nope. So the Sherman survives. Right, we've rolled the dice and we are going to get a turn 7, which makes it interesting because we've looked at the scenario objectives, and within these ones, Steve, who runs the Cams Too Far and the tournament, is quite clear on hold, capture and contest. So where we have this one in the middle, John was holding it because he had a unit in base contact which was the bazooka team. So that means I can't contest it. I've got to capture it first and then I can hold. Unlikely to be able to do that now because he's moved the Jeep in base contact with it as well. So I can kill 1 or 2, which means I've then got to try and kill the other team with the tank because I can't move off that objective because I'd lose it. That one's being held. That one's being held so far. So that's 2-all at the moment on that side, and I'm holding this one over here, so that takes it to 3-2 to me. However, this Sherman is still alive. This Panzer III is still alive, so it depends what comes up and who gets the first dice. There's a chance there that John could take out the Marder with a sneaky little shot if he passes his leadership test, and perhaps if he moves his tank backwards a bit. So that will actually put a little bit of... oh no, it won't matter because he's a veteran, so moving won't matter. So pretty a little tricky situation on this side. I think I'm fairly safe with the infantry over there, and of course the Panzerbusch over here might actually get up and take a shot at the Sherman. That's a possibility. So we'll move into turn 7 and see how it goes. First dice out is John's. He could reverse back and take a shot as we described, or he's thinking he could go 9 forwards, pivot once, 9 forwards, get in front of the Tiger and take a flank shot at the Marder. He's got a leadership test of on a 9.
9.
Yep, gets it, loses his pin. Pivot 1 and then 9. Oh, it's going to do it. Right, yep. 3 to hit.
Oh, here we go again.
And there's a 1.
Is there a 1?
Oh no! Oh, that. You know that could have been it, couldn't it? That could have been it. Now,
Is there 1?
gonna try and play chase now with these. Oh dear. Right, okay then. That probably saved my ass.
Oh dear.
Germans. Oh dear.
There's a tank there. Where? Where is the tank?
That's a move.
Unbelievable. Don't blank them in.
Yep. So I've moved though. Alright, so we're definitely going to try and get rid of this Sherman on the side here. So I've pivoted the Marder, so it's a 4 needed. Yep, that's a 4. So it's a heavy anti-tank, so it's on a 6. And the armour on the side is 8. Yeah, that's more than doubled it.
2 dice.
So 2 dice. Yep, and that's a boom.
That's a brew.
Right, the only way I can perhaps get that centre one out of the way now is take a shot with this one here, but that just makes it the icing on the cake. But we need a 6. Nah. So Greyhound's going to take it to Panzer 2, and it's a hardcover in the way, so it's a 5 needed. Yeah, got a 5, so it's a 4 for the armour and a 7 on the side. So 5 plus 4 is 9, and yeah, that penetrates it. 1. So shaken and stirred. Which is probably enough to stop it from, well, possibly on the leadership tech. We'll see what it does. So in the centre, I took a leadership test to fire for the Panzer 2, and it got double 1, so lost all his pins. Took a shot at the bazooka team and got 1 hit, and then rolled and killed 2 of them. So the bazooka team's gone, but that Jeep is still in play. So I've got to try and kill the Jeep. So the Panzer 3J is going to take a shot at the Jeep. It's within 30 inches, so it's in short range, but we've got the hedges.
Doesn't the Jeep lose because I've got no infantry near it?
At the end of the turn.
End of turn 1.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. But what comes first, the end of the turn or the death of the Jeep? Yeah. That's an interesting one. So, Panther 3 is going to take a shot, so it's a 4 that's needed. That's a 5. So it's a medium gun with penetration 5 against the Jeep, which is a 6. So it's an 8. So penetration and a 3, it's on fire. So 2 pins and a leadership test, John. Yep, passes that, but gets 2 pins. I think all the things that take shots are all done, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, all my stuff's just going to go down because that's over there. Yeah.
So, if we look at that, that's the end of turn 7. And I think your probably Jeep goes pop.
Yeah, Jeep goes.
Jeep goes pop at the end of the turn. But does that then mean that the tank is there in control of it and captured it?
I thought so.
I would have thought so. Yeah, so there we go. The Germans have got 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives, luckily, and so take the win. But I think poor John has been a victim to ones. He has rolled an inordinate number of ones in the game, so that's a sad state of affairs for John. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll put it up, and you can see how it runs through. We don't often play Tank Wars, so it's quite a nice change to give it a run. Things that we thought about it, well, I think it seems to be quite fluid, with lots happening within it to try and get the tanks into position to get shots. And with some of the tanks that you're taking, they've got a long range and have got a reasonable amount of firepower when you actually hit with them. I was particularly pleased with how the Tiger went. I shall be painting some rings on it, even though it did get knocked out by the Sherman. I claim that as my fault. I knew what I was doing there, and I paid the penalty with it. But it took out the Greyhound, and it took out one of the Shermans, and then it immobilised one of the Shermans. So quite good fun with it. Tiger Fear didn't come too much into play. The board had quite a few obstructions to line of sight, so that sort of reduced its capability in that respect, but didn't particularly come a cropper with it. Yeah, liked how it ran. The units are quite good. I like the mix of the tanks and the little armoured car, which worked quite well. I think it would have been very much different if some of the ones that John had rolled for penetration had actually knocked out some of my tanks, and the ones to hit that he rolled, he did have a large number of those, which is a bit of a shame really. But it was a good game, I thought. I think he enjoyed it. And it didn't really demonstrate his army to the best, so I think he'll run it again and see how it comes out. It's certainly got a bit of movement with the Greyhounds if you haven't got lots of hedges. Sadly, in this one, we did hem the sort of wheeled vehicles in a bit. Yeah, liked how the table laid out with the Empire at War buildings. They looked okay. I might look at a bit of weathering. John's done a bit of weathering on one of his, and that made it look quite nice. So might get the paints out and do a bit of dry brushing on the shutters and then on the walls. So yeah, so a good game. I think it would be different next time, not rolling the ones for John. So hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it had to be in 2 parts, but that's how it went for the uploading, sadly. So if you liked it, please give a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and if you think your friends would like it, please share it with them. So until next time, see you soon.